I could see South Carolina on the horizon. It had been a rough few days and I was ready to drop anchor and sleep. Forever.
Sand and blue water, a woman cries in front of her daughter. His mom is the ice down his Oversupply.
Well, we're here, pulling up at a place like this. You know, tired, having dodged sea container ships, dropping in an anchorage here with all other people around, doing the perfect anchor and then ending up just a little bit too close to your neighbour. Then like, hey mate, just reminded me, and by myself especially, and tired, just reminded me so much of cruising around Europe before I met Elayna. I'd rock up to a place like this and as tired as I am, just go and immediately get on the beers. Yeah, the only reason I'm mentioning it is because I've got that same sort of feeling. Being tired and by myself just reminds me of those times. I'd arrived in Charleston, a historical town in South Carolina. Say something about the Carolinas here, Riley. No. So I got caught in 38 knots with full mainsail up.
Oh my gosh, what happened?
You know what I was doing beforehand? Meditating. I was sitting there concentrating on the breath, emptying my mind of unhelpful thought patterns, and then like the wind blows and I'm like, that's okay, you can just notice that and then let it go. And then the wind blows again and I'm like, oh, sounds like it's picking up, and then I'm like, that's a negative thought, just acknowledge it and let it go. And then it starts raining and I like open one eye from my meditation and like look all around and I was like... It was so good to chat to Elayna. She was beyond relieved that I'd made it and was safe in harbour. I headed onto land to meet up with Will, a friend of a friend who'd offered to look after the Vagabonde whilst I was away. He and his partner Lynn run a sailing school here in Charleston. Having met them only moments before, we were immediately on a mission to rescue an adrift catamaran that was about to snap its mast off on the bridge above.
We got a Lagoon 400 adrift here. One of our buddies' boats in the anchorage busted off the anchorage, and we're gonna rescue him before he hits the bridge. Thankfully we got the call.
I'm not sure if you recall earlier how I said there was all kind of debris on the ocean floor here. Well, this kind of thing happens fairly regularly. The catamaran's anchor was clearly caught up in some flexible steel wire ropes or some cables and stuff like that and broke free. Someone, I still don't know who, called up Will and said, do you know the guy, or I think it's one of yours, and it was a friend of his. We jumped on my tender and went burning out to the adrift catamaran. Were fortunately able to jump on board and fire it up before it went into the bridge. The mast there's no way that it would have fit under. So the mast would have snapped, the rigging would have come down, and it would have been an absolute nightmare.
We'll get it reset for you, man. Alright, yeah, no problem.
When you watch videos of that as a sailor, it sends a shiver down your spine. We're very lucky to get there in time. Will and Kyle were mainly the ones that did it, and I was sort of just lending assistance, and we were just lucky to be there when we were. We didn't get any footage, but we're getting way too close to that bridge, like minutes. We were minutes from hitting the bridge. I was to leave La Vaga on anchor for another week until our berth opened up in the marina. I was very grateful to have Will offer to look after her and move her for me because I had a flight booked to Australia in the next few days. Introduce yourself to the camera here.
I'm Hannah Jane.
I'm Glenn McCarthy.
And I bumped into these guys. You drove a couple of hours because you...
Yeah, we're from Columbia. We drove about 2 hours to come and see you. Well, we were just hoping to catch a glimpse of the boat, and then we get to see you.
So I saw these two wandering down the dock, and they're like, Riley, and we got to talking, and then I said, let's go and get some food. I'm absolutely starving, so
That's what we're doing.
we've got some goals for the next 12 to 18 months. Some of them are for us and some are for you guys. We're about to have a child, and everyone knows how much time that takes up. I've seen a few suggestions from different people saying just take some time off or just make less videos, but that's just not how YouTube works. That is a whole other conversation which I'm happy to have in the future. But for now, I think that if you're going to do something, you should just be doing it to the best of your ability, which is what we always try to do. With all of that being said though, what are the goals? We would like to be putting out at least 2 videos per week. A goal that we've got for you guys is to get crew membership up to 1%, and that is of course Patreon. And for those of you who are now philosophically opposed to Patreon, which we've heard a little bit about, there's a PayPal button on our website, and we'll take all of that into consideration. So we're currently at 0.41%, which is just under 0.5%. So thank you to everyone who's already crew, and I'll see you at the next live broadcast. The other goal that we've got for ourselves is for Elayna to be producing more music for our episodes. A lot of the time it's a bit of an afterthought, like it's very spontaneous. We're pointing the camera and recording with the mic on the camera, and any musician will tell you that it's just going to sound half as good. So you guys have asked us time and again, and we are listening. We want the music, Elayna's music, to become a real feature of the show. On the Patreon website, the different tier levels receive various knickknacks, goodies, privileges and perks. So I'll just read them out here because there are so many. For example, on the $25 tier level, you get an official Patron Squad Fam Legend card, the SLV Essential Sailing Guide. Your questions will be moved to the top of the queue during the monthly live broadcast. SLV sticker, 2 beer can coolers, 2 Sailing the Vagabonde coasters, 1 Sailing the Vagabonde t-shirt. There are new t-shirts now available on the website, and a signed postcard from Elayna and I. So it is just Elayna and I on board trying to maintain a blue water vessel, navigating, sailing, and nowadays trying to hold down a YouTube channel. And when I look at the amount of time that it takes, like hours per week, to do various things, and when I speak to new parents about just how much time is going to be taken away from us, in a good way of course, but yeah, the numbers just don't add up. Like, I'm just trying to look into the future and figure out a few things now rather than when problems arise. So yeah, cool, awesome. I hope you enjoyed the series of single-handed sail videos. I had so much fun filming them. I really do hope you enjoyed them. And I believe you'll be meeting our little man very soon. So possibly the very next video that we put up could have the little man in it. So it's pretty exciting. Join us next week for the birth of our child. Thank you for watching. Give that a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you're new here, please subscribe.